Okay, let's move beyond just working with sounds through using loops, and let's create our own software instrument tracks. So let's go back to Launchpad and open Logic Pro. You can also open the file with your loops, that's fine. Just a quick reminder, didn't mention it last tutorial, Logic Pro does not save files automatically like Final Cut, so you do have to go File and Save As after you've created a project. All right, so let's, oops, my Logic Pro disappeared. File, new, and I'm going to create a software instrument. Now let me go through some of the interface icons because we sort of dived right into loops last tutorial, so let's do a little bit more of an overview. So once again, these are the loops here. They will load up a lot quicker because they've been indexed, so they'll appear right away. All right, now to the left-hand side. This is the library. When you toggle over, it says library. It also shows you the shortcut for it. The library is going to be really important for us here. It has all of our instruments, so software instruments that you'll be able to play. Okay, now I keep getting this yellow sort of descriptor. This is, or no, I'm now getting the descriptors. The question mark, it's pretty good if you're just learning and trying to figure out where things are, what they are. It gives you a little yellow sticky telling you what the different parts of Logic Pro are. It gets a little bit in the way, so I'm going to turn it off. Now next to, in between those two is the inspector. And the inspector we won't get into right now, but it does give you some options of adding reverb and adding certain effects. So just so you know what that is, you can turn it on and off. And we'll stop at at that point. Now, to open up your keyboard so that you can play it, Command K. Command K. There we go. If you forget, you can go into your menu here, and you can open it up from here. It's show keyboard. Oh, you can make it smaller. Show musical typing. Command K. There we go, and Command K. There we go. You can also change the look of the keyboard right there. Now, I don't have any software instruments in this timeline here yet, but if I go to the left, here they are, and some of them have menus within menus, so there's lots of them. It can get quite overwhelming. I'm going to stick to what I know, which is an acoustic guitar, and you will see that the music instrument changes in here. So if I go to piano, and I pick the grand piano has appeared. Okay, so I'm going to stick to what I know and do acoustic guitar. And now my keyboard will play the acoustic guitar. If I'm ready to play, I hit record. Spacebar to stop. You could go up here to press record again and to stop, but I find the spacebar a lot more accessible. Now let me move my pointer back and spacebar to play. Now, if you'd like to be counted in, you can go up top here, and you will hear. Now, this would probably be useful as you're recording. So for the musicians in the class, you might want to use this feature. Okay, so I have my MIDI track. Software instrument is what I'm using. This is a MIDI track that's created. If I double click it, it opens up and has all of the note information. And I can click on each one and it plays each note. So I can actually move them around. So that's quite neat because you can actually redesign what you've created. Now I have my acoustic guitar. Now I would like to put in another, maybe it's a good idea to do some sort of a drum beat. So I'm going to go up to the plus key here, plus, and instead of creating a software instrument, because right now I don't want to create another guitar or any one of these, I want to create a drummer beat. So I'm going to press drummer. It asks you for the genre. You can always change it. Let's say alternative, and then create. And what it does is it gives you, in the library, a pop-up of all the drummers. They all have their different style. It gives you the genre, and then furthermore, it gives you much more options. Okay, so we've got the drum kit. You can listen to them by at least the sound that they. But as you can tell, there is already a drummer track that's been put in. So let's see. East Bay, Gavin. Pretty fast. Okay, let's maybe do something a little bit more like R&B, Curtis, and you can also gives you some options here. So you're welcome to play around. It just lets you add different things, like here you have the kick and snare and percussion, so on. There's lots of options for changing the drummer beats. So let's see, we have Neo Soul Curtis. All right, so say that I like this, but I'm finding the drums a little bit overbearing in terms of the volume. They're taking over. What I'm going to do now is change the automation. So up here, up top, there's this little kind of knuckle. Okay, and if I click it, it opens up both tracks. Okay, and now I see this, if I click here, I see this, just simply click. You see this yellow line appears, and this is what the volume is as it stands right now. I can lower the bar and it lowers the volume of the entire track. What I can also do is I can click and it creates little nodes that I can then push up and down to fade in and out in certain areas, or as another instrument is coming in. So I don't want the drums to start off so strong. I want them to come in softly. So let's see how that sounds. I can do the same thing with the acoustic guitar. You can do this automation on MIDI, software instruments, MIDI tracks, and audio tracks as well. So on the blue and the green tracks. All right, so I've got my drum beat, I've got my software instrument. Let's add a loop. I'm going to open up my loops right over here. Okay, and I found where the vocals live. I thought they were somewhere in there. I couldn't find them last tutorial. If you go into genres, you go into voices. Okay, and voices opens up. All right, so we can roll down and pick something suitable. Once again, you are welcome to find or record your own voice. So let me just put in. Hey. Voice.
2,000 people on it. Lot of mercy. Nothing to.
Lots of interesting voices here. Let's see what Kyla sounds like. Okay, let's put this da-dee-da-dee-da underneath. Maybe I'll have Kyla's voice come in. Oops. I don't know what I did. Command Z because I did something accidentally. So Command Z. Aha. Do you want to move the track automation data? Yes, I want to move it. All right, so let's see. All right, maybe lower that voice at the beginning, and you get the idea. At the beginning, I want to lower it the other way around. And maybe we'll move it in a little bit closer. Move. Alright, so you get the idea. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, well, two more things. If you did want to add your own voice, you can press the plus button and press audio, okay, and then you can create your own recording. However, if you're just using computer speakers, you will hear a lot of distortion from the sounds in the room, so this will work best if you have a microphone and a space where you can record. You can also attach external MIDI, so those are external keyboard players, and this is just so you're aware if you're ever using Logic Pro for your own recordings. For the purpose of the project, we'll just be sticking to loops, software instruments, and drummer beats. All right, last part is I want to now create this as one MP3 file because I'm going to put it into, I'm going to overlay it in my animation, and I don't want to have it as this project. So same like with Photoshop, if you save a Photoshop file, you have all the layers of your work. Same idea in Final Cut, you have all the video not compressed as one MOV or M4A file. Logic Pro, same thing, file. You need to export it. However, in Logic Pro, it's called bouncing. So we're going to go to File, up top, Bounce, and I'm gonna bounce the project or selection. So I just want to make sure that I don't have something selected. So the best thing to do is move your cursor, the white bar, to the very end of your track, and that way you don't have it exporting extra silence that you don't need. Okay, and so I would recommend that. So File, Bounce, Project or Selection. You can choose the file format. You could do M4A, AAC, or MP3. MP3 is fine. 24-bit, all the information is good. Press OK. Please create a folder on your desktop for Logic Pro sounds. I'm gonna name this tutorial to sound. Bounce. And what will happen is it will create an MP3 for me. Tutorial to sound. I have another one in there from earlier. There we go. So there's my MP3. You can create several sounds, several projects, several MP3s that you might want to use in your film. And overlay them depending on the scene, and perhaps if you wanted to add sound effects as well. I will also do one more tutorial that will show you how you can watch your film in Logic Pro as you're creating sound for it and export it as a movie with sound. Okay, that'll be a tutorial coming up later. Okay, hope you enjoyed, and please explore and keep trying new things and experimenting, the best way to learn.